Part 103. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1021. The general glanced at me coldly and continued to Zhang Yucheng, "Don't waste too much time with him. Things will change later. Let's complete our affairs as soon as possible." Zhang Yucheng turned around and glanced at the general coldly, and said, "I don't need you to tell me what to do." Through the conversation between the two people, I learned that although the two guys were in a cooperative relationship, their relationship was not as good as imagined. Both of them are one of the 9 evils, both in character and ambition. Moreover, each of the 9 evil spirits dominates one side. This is like two overlords meeting. If they can get along well, it will really be a ghost. However, the general's words did make Zhang Yucheng give up his intention to continue fighting with me. This is bad, I still want to delay it for a while. The general and Zhang Yucheng stood together and looked at me coldly. The aura exuded by the two guys was like 2 huge mountains, which made me breathless. Just keep an eye on it. Does it take so much experience to deal with such a guy? As soon as he finished speaking, the general's eyes were covered with blood. Before I could react, the general disappeared in an instant. My face turned stern, and the strong wind roared behind me. I quickly controlled the Bapi Deo to block it behind me. There was only a sonorous sound, and the general's fist hit the Bapi knife hard. I also reacted and used the power of the 9 Eyes heavenly domain to disappear instantly. When he reappeared, the Jingxiao in his hand was already slashing towards the general. The general noticed the awe-inspiring aura emanating from Jingxiao, and chose to avoid the sharp edge for the time being, and quickly distanced himself from me. Jingxiao was created to deal with generals. The 2 existences of the Centennial Lightning Strike Tree and the Yang Soul of the Sacred Tree are very fatal blows to zombies. "Boy, your reaction is quick enough," the general said coldly. I looked at the generals warily. I had no confidence in dealing with these 2 guys, but if I could delay them for a little longer, it would be a little time. "I wonder if you can taste the thunder. I'm going to use the 9 layers thunder technique to attract the thunder from the sky. The zombies are most afraid of thunder technique." As soon as the word came out of my mouth, there was roaring thunder above my head, and thunder and lightning rolled among the dark clouds. I was stunned for a moment. How is this going? I obviously didn't use the 9 layers thunder technique. Why did thunder appear in the sky today? The general and Zhang Yucheng looked shocked, and the 2 guys said in disbelief, "Just follow your words. The Dharma Sutra comes from Buddhism, but Taoism also has Taoist interpretations. I am the Tao, and the Tao is me. The words I speak contain the power of the Tao. All existences in the dark world must obey my orders. The words I speak are oracles. This is the law of speaking." At this time, I suddenly remembered the tongue consciousness I had regained before. Could it be that this is the power of my tongue consciousness? Zhang Yucheng looked at the sky thunders hovering in the sky and said to the generals, "Don't be afraid. His ability to follow words, and actions is only at the lowest stage, and it is impossible to order the sky thunders." At this moment, I felt something rapidly passing through my body. Then the whole person became extremely weak. Is this a side effect of speaking the Dharma? Maybe Zhang Yucheng is right. With my current strength, I really can't fully grasp the words and actions. If one day you truly master such a magical skill, wouldn't it be like calling the wind and rain? Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1022. In fact, speaking the Dharma is also the highest level of home cultivation. There is no need to do anything, and there is no need to use talismans, just say what comes. But now it seems that the language skills I have mastered are not perfect. No, it should be said that I am currently unable to fully master the art of speaking. I looked at the thunder hovering in the sky and took a deep breath. Now that I know that I have this ability, I have to give it a try. I looked at Zhang Yucheng, raised a sneer at the corner of my mouth, and said, "Oh, how do you know that I can't trigger thunder?" When Zhang Yacheng saw that I was confident of winning, his expression became a little serious. I raised my sword high into the sky, pointed my sword at the sky, thunder roared, and thunder light flashed. Look at how I can draw thunder with one sword. Break all laws. The sky thunder circled and rolled among the dark clouds. As soon as these words fell, the originally blue lightning instantly turned into deep purple, and half of the sky was dyed purple. I felt as if something was passing through my body rapidly. Zhang Yacheng shouted bad, turned around and left. How could I watch him leave? I shouted angrily. Thunderfall. I slashed down with my sword, and the purple thunder hovering in the sky fell down. A purple dragon descended from the sky and roared towards him. The power emitted by the purple thunder was almost as powerful as the 7th level thunder technique. There is a big difference between Zi Lei and Tian Lei. Purple thunder is the thunder of the emperor, and can only be used by those who have the life of purple way. Boom! The purple thunder exploded, instantly swallowing Zhang Yacheng and the generals, and even the Yin soldiers on one side were implicated. The moment the lightning struck, I felt like all the strength in my body had been drained away. I fell to the side. Xiang Yi quickly caught me with his eyes and hands. He couldn't help but say, "Lu Su, call you weak. You are indeed weak and can't beat anyone. But call you strong. You are indeed strong. You can fight anyone with 2 moves. I didn't expect that you could control the way you speak and speak." I raised a wry smile at the corner of my mouth. Xiang Yi was right. In my mind, it's like I didn't have an absolute crushing victory. Whether it's the double-faced Buddha of good and evil or the Mission Ghost Lord, I can survive 2 moves. The same is true now. Zhang Yacheng and the generals are stronger than me, and I was able to contend with them for such a long time. I think you won't be called Lu Su from now on, but Lu Wukai. I looked at Xiang Yi in confusion and asked, "Why?" Xiang Yi rolled his eyes and said, "Why do you think you can't be 50-50 with everyone?" I looked at Xiang Yi speechlessly. Is this an official complaint? Stop talking nonsense. Why don't you take this opportunity to take me out of here? Xiang Yi finally came to his senses, picked me up and ran away. Just as he took a step, the voice of Mangshan Ghost King came from behind. "Follow me. I know how to get you out of here." Xiang Yi changed direction and fled behind Bamang Ghost King. Soon we were escaping the canyon. The roar of the generals came from the canyon. I was startled and said to Xiang Yi, "Run quickly. Otherwise we really won't be able to run. My back hurts when I stand and talk. Why don't you try carrying me on your back?" As soon as Xiang Yi finished speaking, the sound of military bugles and the roar of fierce ghosts came from behind. They caught up. At this moment, a familiar figure suddenly appeared in front of him. I saw Su Tianxian waiting for me somewhere with an anxious face. "Xiao Su." Su Tianxian hurried towards me. The first time he saw me, Su Tianxian grabbed my arm and asked anxiously, "Xiao Su, how are you? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1023. I forced a smile and said, "I'm fine, I just lost my strength. I didn't expect that using the heavenly thunder would bring such a burden to my body. This ability can only be used as a life-saving means, and must not be used unless it is absolutely necessary." Su Tianxian came to me anxiously and stretched out his slender hands to help me off Xiang Yi's back. Hey. Master Su, are you a weak woman trying to betray Lu Su? It doesn't matter whether you carry it or not, it's disgraceful." Su Tianxian hesitated for a moment, then retracted his hand. At this moment, I can't wait to give Xiang Yi a try. Why can't you see what's going on? It doesn't matter whether you memorize it or not. It's okay to hold on. It's better than being on the back of a grown man like you, right? The few of us didn't stay too long and accelerated our pace to leave here. Xiao Su, I'm sorry. I just wanted to help you, but something happened, so. Su Tianqian looked very remorseful. I know what she is thinking. If she had come to help me at that time, I wouldn't be in such a mess now. Master, what you said, how can I blame you? Before Su Tianqian spoke, Xiang Yi teased from the side, hey. I never thought that the aloof fairy who was not stained by the mortal world would also care about people. It's really strange. Su Tianqian glanced at Xiang Yi lightly and ignored him. Xiang Yi coughed awkwardly. Master, what happened to you just now? Su Tianqian told the truth. I just met Mu Qing and the others. They came here under the leadership of that little female ghost. I felt happy and quickly asked, where are they? Su Tianqian pointed in the direction ahead and said, over there. It's difficult for us to get out now because the entire Bamang mountain is surrounded by Yin soldiers. However, I have also thought of a countermeasure, which will allow you to take back your dragon energy and escape from here. I nodded. In my heart, I believe in Su Tianqian unconditionally. She said if there is a way, there will be a way. Soon, we came to a vast plain. It was desolate as far as the eye could see, with only scattered dead trees. Mu Qing was waving to us not far away. When she saw Xiang Yi, she was stunned for a moment, and then ran towards us. Xiang Yi also looked happy when she saw Mu Qing. However, I did not see Miao Fengluan among them. Where did she go? Nothing will happen, right? I couldn't help but start to worry about her safety. Mu Qing came to Xiang Yi's side. Before Xiang Yi could say anything, Mu Qing slapped Xiang Yi on the face. Snapped. This slap immediately stunned Xiang Yi. Asshole, Mu Qing looked at Xiang Yi with tears in her eyes and a grieved face. Xiang Yi opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. The next moment, Mu Qing threw herself into Mu Qing's arms and started sobbing. Asshole! Asshole! Don't you know how worried I am about you? Xiang Yi threw me directly to the ground, and then hugged Mu Qing tightly. And I fell hard and squatted. You damn! This ungrateful guy! Su Tianqian came to my side and gently helped me up. Mu Qing let out her emotions wantonly in Xiang Yi's arms, raised her pink fist and beat Xiang Yi's chest wildly. You should die here. This way I can give up. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1024. Xiang Yi scratched his head and smiled. I have nothing to do. Besides, if I die, you just find someone. Before he finished speaking, Mu Qing bit Xiang Yi's shoulder. Xiang Yi took a breath, but didn't say anything. Let you talk nonsense. When I saw this scene, I couldn't help but shake my head and smile bitterly. This woman is really a strange creature. I unconsciously glanced at Su Tianqian and found that she was also peeking at me. Our eyes met, and the atmosphere was a little awkward, so I quickly averted my gaze. Xiang Yi and Mu Qing spread dog food on the spot. This atmosphere was a bit strange. At this moment, Xiao He and the little female ghost also came over. Boss. The mission was successfully completed. As he spoke, he took the small stone out of his pocket. This guy still wants to escape. Let me catch him. Seeing the mountain soul, my heart dropped by half. With the mountain soul in hand, I can borrow the soul of Bamang to use the mountain protecting formation. Xiao Shitu yelled, I didn't want to run away. I just wanted to relieve myself. Xiao He slapped the small stone. Nonsense. You are just a stone. And you are relieving yourself. Why? Are you stones using urine when you relieve yourself? I was slightly startled. Do. I don't know how Xiao He got such a head. The dew is obviously caused by the weather, right? At this moment, the little female ghost ran towards Bamang Ghost King. Daddy. The Bamang Ghost King was stunned for a moment when he saw the little female ghost, and then his face lit up with joy, and he held the little female ghost in his arms. Xian Xian. You're worried about Daddy. Looking at the scene of father and daughter getting together, I smiled knowingly. Cao had many daughters, all of whom were as beautiful as flowers, but they were all married off by him. There should be no record of the little female ghost in front of me in history. If you think about it carefully, history is only a rough record, and some actual things that happened have long been buried in the torrent of history. Dad. I'm fine, thanks to that big brother, otherwise I wouldn't be able to see Dad again. The Ghost King of Mangshan came to me with the little female ghost in his arms, bowed deeply to me, and said, "Thank you for your help." I waved my hand to signal Mangshan Ghost King not to take this matter to heart. The Ghost King of Mangshan looked hesitant. I said, "If you have anything to say, just tell me." A trace of anger flashed in the eyes of Mangshan Ghost King, and he said, "I hope you can help me take back Baman Mountain. I will definitely repay this kindness in the future." The Ghost King of Mangshan is in the same situation as the Ghost Master at the moment. Although he is still alive, his military power has long been taken away by Zhang Yucheng. I thought about it and nodded in agreement. It is a very good thing to be able to let the Bamang Ghost King owe me a favor. Maybe I can use this favor in the future. What's more, the matter between Zhang Yucheng and I has not been resolved yet. I looked at Xiao He and asked, "Where are Feng Luan and Cai Dai?" Just as Xiao He was about to answer, he heard the sound of horse hooves coming from behind. I turned around suddenly and saw Zhang Yucheng and his generals chasing after them with their Yin soldiers. I looked around, and there were Yin soldiers all over the mountains and plains, and they surrounded us. There are so many evil soldiers that we cannot escape. I looked at Su Tianxian, who smiled at me and said, "Don't worry." Seeing Su Tianxian so confident of winning, I felt much more at ease. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1025. Lu Su. Let's see how you run away this time. Zhang Yucheng said coldly to me. Run? Why should I run? It's you who should run. The thunder from the sky just now caused Zhang Yucheng and the generals to be more or less injured. However, compared to their injuries, they looked extremely embarrassed at this time, and their clothes had been scorched by thunder. Zhang Yucheng was stunned for a moment, then showed a mocking look on his face. Lu Su, are you scared to death? Everyone around here belongs to me. As long as I give the order, you will die without a burial place. I looked at Zhang Yucheng coldly and said nothing. Zhang Yucheng continued, I originally wanted you to survive for a few days, but now it seems that it is not necessary because you have successfully angered me. At this time, Zhang Yucheng saw the small stone in my hand. He was slightly stunned at first, and then his face showed ecstasy. Mountain Soul. It really takes no effort at all. Zhang Yucheng's purpose of coming here is to absorb the dragon energy from the dragon veins of Bamang Mountain. In addition to using Ziwei's energy as a guide, Shanhun can also do it. Zhang Yucheng slowly raised his hand and said, "Let's do it." His voice was not loud, but there were flashes of memories, and the next moment, countless Yin soldiers answered. Yes. Immediately afterwards, there was the sound of a long sword being unsheathed and the sound of a war horse neighing. I felt a chill in my heart. It seemed that in this situation, I could only use the netherworld ghost sea. I took a deep breath and stirred up the ghost sea. The inky darkness gathered around me, and then rippled, and the turbulent black ocean swallowed everything around me in an instant. Countless Yin soldiers and Yins will emerge from the sea of ghosts. At this moment, an extremely powerful aura came from not far away. Everyone present looked stagnant and looked in the direction where the breath was coming from. This smell is familiar to me. It's Huo Qubing. I knew Huo Qubing had arrived here before. But what is his purpose here? He is also one of the 9 evils, and the last 3. The strength is naturally immeasurable. If he came here to deal with me, then my situation would be extremely dangerous. A figure walked slowly from a distance. I saw that the man was wearing armor, his figure was as tall and straight as a pine tree, his aura was as strong as the sun, and his eyes were as bright as cold stars under his sword-shaped brows. There seemed to be someone following Huo Qubing. I took a closer look and it turned out to be Huaxiu. Huo Qubing and Huaxiu came to me. Huaxiu breathed a long sigh of relief when he saw that I was safe and sound. I quickly pulled her aside and asked, "Why are you with him?" Huaxiu explained, "I met him on the way to find the mountain god. I thought that this trip to Buman Mountain was too dangerous, so I asked him to help you." I originally thought he wouldn't agree, but he agreed as soon as I opened my mouth. I was slightly stunned. Is Huo Qubing here to help me? Huo Qubing helped me once before at Hang Pass. But that time it was forced by circumstances. Now, because of Huaxiu's words, he came to help me. Huaxiu's face must be too great. When Zhang Yacheng saw Huo Qubing, his expression changed slightly and he said, "What are you doing here?" Huo Qubing glanced at him indifferently and said, "Do I still need to report to you when I do something?" Huo Qubing and Zhang Yacheng obviously knew each other since they were both 9 evils. Now with Huo Qubing's help, the chances of winning this war are much better. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1026. How serious is Huo Qubing? The 18-year-old Huo Qubing was the captain of Piao Yao. He led 800 cavalry and galloped for hundreds of miles in the vast desert. He went deep into the Xiongnu alone to attack the Huns. In this battle, Huo Qubing killed more than 2,000 enemies. He also killed the Xiongnu Chanyu state minister and uncle. Emperor Wu of the Han dynasty granted him the title of he was called the champion and praised for his courage in winning the 3 armies. At the age of 20, Huo Qubing was named the cavalry general. He led 10,000 cavalry to attack the Xiongnu, crossed the Wulai Mountain and crossed the Yellow River. In 6 days, he crossed 2,000 miles, killed King Jilan and beheaded King Luhu. In this battle, Huo Qubing regained the entire Hexi corridor. To win more with less is Huo Qubing's most common operation. There are countless generals in Chinese history, and there are many famous ones. Every emperor in every dynasty would compare his most capable general with Huo Qubing. However, no one has ever reached the heights of Huo Qubing. Zhang Yacheng narrowed his eyes and looked at Huo Qubing, wondering what he was thinking in his heart. Huo Qubing ignored him, turned around and came to me, and said, "If Huaxiu hadn't begged me today, I wouldn't have come here at all. There is still a duel yet to be completed between you and me. When you finish dealing with these 2 guys, it's time for you to have a decisive battle with me." Huo Qubing is a hummer and a fierce tiger. If I want him to serve me, I must conquer him with absolute strength. And now, because of Huaxiu's request, Huo Qubing is temporarily at my disposal. I looked at Huaxiu and saw her expression was indifferent, with no emotion on her face. I vaguely remember the first time I saw Huaxiu. She cried so sadly because of Huo Qubing. And now, perhaps it was true as she said, in her last life, she lived for the one she loved. In this life, she lives for the people who love her. Good. I said to Huo Qubing, "I will definitely defeat you in an upright manner." Huo Qubing didn't say anything, but instead came to the numerous Yin soldiers in the netherworld Ghost Sea. When Yin Bing saw Huo Qubing, His expression became a little excited. General. For a time, the word general appeared one after another. Huo Qubing nodded lightly. At this time, a Yin soldier brought a war horse. Huo Qubing got on the horse without even thinking. The number of Yin soldiers in the Netherworld Ghost Sea is less than 30,000. The number of Yin soldiers surrounding us is at least hundreds of thousands, maybe more than 200,000. There are as many as 100,000 Yin soldiers under the city god. There are countless emperors buried in the entire Bamang mountain, and countless Yin soldiers are buried with them. All these Yin soldiers obey the orders of the Ghost King of Mangshan. But now, the military power has been seized by Zhang Yucheng, and these Yin soldiers are also out of the control of the Mangshan Ghost King. 20,000 Yin soldiers versus 200,000, this is an impossible task no matter how you look at it. The Ghost King of Mangshan came to me and said, the first priority now is to regain military power. Only the Tiger Talisman can command these Yin soldiers. I asked, where is Tiger Talisman now? The Ghost King of Mangshan looked solemn. The Tiger Talisman should be in the hands of Demon King Chu, and he is in the palace now. Demon King Chu? No wonder Zhang Yucheng was able to control the entire Yin soldiers in Bamang Mountain. It turned out that he had the help of Demon King Chu. My mind was racing and I said to Huo Qubing, you and the Ghost King should go to the palace and retrieve the Tiger Talisman. Huo Qubing nodded. Since he decided to help me, he would not refuse my request. Zhang Yucheng saw us whispering and said, stop plotting, you can't escape today. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1027. Do it. Kill them. Zhang Yucheng gave an order, and the Yin soldiers and Yin generals all over the mountains and plains rushed towards us like a tide. I asked the Yin soldiers to find a war horse for the Ghost King of Mangshan, so that he could lead the way more easily. The Ghost King of Mangshan mounted his war horse, and Huo Qubing gave the order to break out with his cavalry. I saw excitement in these Yin soldiers. Although they died, their hearts were still attached to the battlefield. It seems that only on the battlefield can they find their destination. Huo Qubing rode Jueshan and rushed to the front. As he waved his sword, countless Yin soldiers were killed by the sword. Zhang Yucheng saw this and shouted angrily, stop them. The Yin soldiers from Bamang Mountain received the order and began to rush towards Huo Qubing. There was no fear on Huo Qubing's face, only indifference. Facing the vast wave of soldiers that was as big as the sea, he rushed directly into it. The combat power he displayed stunned everyone present. In the blink of an eye, Huo Qubing tore a hole in the countless Yin soldiers and led the Yin soldiers to rush out. Zhang Yucheng frowned when he saw this situation. He also knew that it was impossible to stop Huo Qubing. Simply, he looked at me and said, that's all, if I kill you, my goal will be achieved. As he said that, he led the Yin soldiers towards me. I quickly took out the small stone and the soul of Bamang. Now the soul of Bamang is just a body, and only the mountain soul of Xiao Shitu is integrated into the soul of Bamang. Only then can the soul of Bamang display his original abilities. You quickly enter it now. I said to the little stone. Xiao Shitu replied in a panic, no. It will take a long time for my soul to return to Bamang. I frowned and asked, how long will it take? Xiao Shitu replied, 5 minutes. 5 minutes? Let alone 5 minutes, we couldn't survive even 1 minute. Su Tianqian said on the side, you can use the purple energy in your body to introduce it into the soul of Bamang. This can greatly shorten the time. However, this process requires your full participation. I looked at Su Tianqian. Su Tianxian's face still had a look of indifference. Facing so many Yin soldiers, she remained so calm. Leave this to me and we'll help you delay. I opened my mouth, wanting to reject Su Tianxian's risky behavior. Su Tianqian glanced at me and said, what? You don't believe in being a teacher? Believe, believe, worry, worry. I don't want to see you get hurt. Ask me who the most trusted person in the world is. That must be Su Tianqian. Although I believe it. But I'm also afraid that Su Tianqian will be injured when facing so many evil soldiers. What's more, Zhang Yacheng and the generals are still there. Su Tianqian smiled slightly and said, "Don't worry, Master has a backup plan." With that said, she walked towards Zhang Yacheng. Since Su Tianqian said so, I can't say anything. Immediately help the mountain soul return to Bamang Mountain. I used my own purple energy as a guide, and the mountain soul floated out from the small stone. When I saw the body of Shanhun, I was slightly stunned. It turned out to be a child of 4, 5, or 6 years old. No wonder the words always seem so childish. I said to him very seriously, "The situation is very critical now. I need you to help me activate the mountain protection formation. If I don't do this, we will all die here." Bamang Shanhun glanced at me with some fear, and it was obvious that he was hesitant. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1028. Seeing his hesitation, I continued to persuade him. "You know, that guy is targeting you, and once you fall into his hands, you know what you're going to face. Zhang Yacheng's goal is not to infiltrate the entire Bamang Mountain. It's the dragon energy from Bamang Mountain's dragon veins. There are only 2 ways to obtain the dragon energy of Bamang Mountain. The first is to use Zai Wei's energy as a guide, and the second is to use the soul of Bamang. I think Shanhun should be able to understand priorities." Sure enough, after hearing what I said, Shanhun nodded repeatedly and said, "Okay." Then, I used the Zai Wei Qi as a guide to slowly inject the mountain soul into the soul of Bamang. Even with my help, this process is really slow. I looked in the direction of Su Tianqian from time to time. Su Tianqian stood with his hands behind his back and looked at Zhang Yacheng calmly. Zhang Yacheng grinned and said, "Master Tianqian, are you sure you want to be my enemy because of your apprentice?" The indifferent look in Su Tianxuan's eyes gradually turned extremely cold. "Being your enemy? For him, I am willing even if I am the enemy of the whole world." Hearing this sentence, my heart warmed. No matter when anything happens, Su Tianqian will choose to stand by my side. Putting myself in my shoes, I think I would do the same. Even if it means my death in exchange for her peace, I am willing to do so. Zhang Yacheng smiled sinisterly. "Okay, then you and your apprentice will die together." Zhang Yacheng knew very well how powerful Su Tianqian was, and ordinary Yin soldiers and Ben Nai could not do anything to her. Therefore, as soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Yacheng instantly disappeared from the spot and rushed towards Su Tianqian at an extremely fast speed. Su Tianxuan's face did not change, and he slowly stretched out his hand and pinched the magic formula. The next moment, a dazzling golden light burst out from her body. Zhang Yacheng's steps faltered and he stopped in place for an instant. This beam of golden light directly drove away the Yin soldiers approaching her. Even the Yin soldiers who were illuminated by the golden light were instantly stunned. Zhang Yacheng looked at Su Tianqian in disbelief, and he shouted in shock, "Dachan golden light curse." Hearing this sentence, I was also stunned on the spot. Su Tianqian has cast the golden light spell before. The golden light mantra is one of the 8 sacred mantras of Taoism. Xianzong of heaven and earth, the root of all things. Once you practice the golden light curse to perfection, no gods or ghosts can invade you. However, it is not that easy to practice the golden light curse to perfection. Some people spend their entire lives unable to do it. And some people are extremely talented and can master the golden light spell at a young age. Obviously, Su Tianqian is the latter. The general slowly stepped forward, looked at Su Tianqian, and said to Zhang Yacheng, "The golden light curse is just completed, let's see how I break it." As he spoke, the corpse energy on the general's body surged, and the shock and power it exuded almost rivaled Su Tianxuan's golden light spell. He stepped forward, and the powerful corpse energy instantly surrounded Su Tianxian. But it was isolated by the golden light emitted by the golden light spell. At this moment, a beautiful figure stood in front of Su Tianxian. Immediately afterwards, another strong corpse aura suddenly erupted. In an instant, the general's corpse energy was offset. The general looked at Huaxiu in disbelief. Millennium Zombie. No. You are about to become immortal. Huaxiu looked at the general coldly, the color in his eyes being covered with scarlet. Zhang Chen looked at Huaxiu with a burning look in his eyes. Unchangeable bones. I didn't expect to encounter unchangeable bones here. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Sky Coffin. Author, Qingnian Wanbao. Chapter 1029. Not turning into bones is superior to all zombies. Not turning into bones is actually a level of zombie. It is the highest existence. Ordinary zombies can also slowly evolve by sucking human blood and the essence of the sun and moon. The end point of evolution is not to turn into bones. However, non-bones are also a type of zombie. They don't need to suck human blood to evolve into non-bones and have all the abilities of non-bones. As for who is more powerful, Buletin Huagu or the generals, of course Buletin Huagu. The generals and Hanbao Wango, and the hooking was also called the ancestor of the four zombies. These four guys are on the same level. Unbone is much more powerful than the four ancestors of zombies. The four ancestors of zombies are only in the initial state of cultivation. There are many things that can restrain them, such as the Samadhi True Fire, the Peachwood Sword, etc., but the boneless bones are completely immune to these things. However, the current Huaxiu has not truly become an immortal. I'm afraid it will take some time to become truly immortal. The general laughed wildly. Ha ha ha. If I can eat your flesh and blood, then my strength will definitely increase greatly. Not only that, I can even evolve into an immortal bone. The original intention of the general is to take back the power of the general in my body. Because only in this way can he return to his prime. But now the appearance of Huaxiu made him focus all his attention on Huaxiu. Want to eat me? You must have the ability. Huaxiu's corpse energy surged around him, and he even turned into a corpse. Endless bloody mist filled the air behind her. The clothes on her body were also stained red with blood. At this moment, Huaxiu was like a domineering empress, looking down on the world and extremely arrogant. Feeling the aura exuded by Huaxiu, I couldn't help but be a little surprised. In just a few days, Huaxiu's strength has increased by more than a little compared to when I first met her. Is it possible that sleeping will also increase her strength? The greed in the general's eyes slowly evolved into bloodthirsty madness. The next moment, the general's figure flashed and disappeared instantly. He was like a ferocious beast, baring his fangs and trying to bite off Huaxiu's neck. Not to be outdone, Huaxiu fought with him. For a while, Huaxiu and the general were inseparable. Seeing this scene, I couldn't help but feel a little worried about Huaxiu. After all, Huaxiu is not really a boneless person. Can he really win when facing the generals? At the same time, Zhang Yacheng also started fighting with Su Tianxian. I was so anxious that I quickly urged Shanhun to move faster. Only by using the mountain protection formation of Buman Mountain can we get out of the predicament. But at this moment, a tidal wave of Yin soldiers attacked me. Since I still have to guide the mountain soul, I can't spare any time to deal with these guys. At the critical moment, a dazzling golden light flashed in front of my eyes. I saw a huge three-legged golden crow hovering directly above me. It's Xiaohe. Xiaohe swooped down, igniting golden fire wherever he passed. When the Yin soldiers touched these golden fires, they were instantly burned to the point of death. However, new crises followed one after another. Because there is a very powerful existence among these Yin soldiers, and that is the Yin general. Two Yin generals suddenly appeared and fought with Xiao He. Xiao He's golden crow fire can only bring little harm to them. The moral conduct of these two Yin generals is estimated to be more than 500 years. This is bad. Sky Coffin. Author, Qing Nian Wanbao. Chapter 1030. Xiao He borrowed the power of the sun and moon beads and just took shape. Facing two ghost generals with 500 years of Taoism, it is obvious that they will not be completely victorious. Sure enough, under the attack of two ghost generals, Xiao He was quickly injured. At this moment, an ethereal and graceful female voice suddenly appeared. "Little rookie, you still need me to save you in the end." Then, a short figure came into my eyes. Cai Dai looked at Xiao He with a mocking look on her face. Xiao He shouted, "Sister Cai Dai! Sister! Save me quickly!" "Okay. Okay. Stop arguing. It's so annoying." Cai Dai stretched out her chubby white hand and formed a seal. The next moment, Cai Dai's whole body flashed with colorful light. After the colorful light dissipated, a cold lady appeared in front of me. When Cai Dai grows up, she is a person who truly maximizes her beauty and purity. Not only is her appearance peerless, but her figure is also exquisite and beautiful, but there is still a pure feeling between her eyebrows. Nai Dai's clothes obviously didn't fit her before, but why did her clothes get bigger as she grew up? Cai Dai clasped her hands together, then slowly spread them out, and then, endless mist of 7 colors spread out from her hands. Wherever Cai Wu passed, Yin soldiers collapsed on the ground as if they were asleep. Later, Nai Dai fights with the two ghost generals. Seeing the colorful butterfly appear, I breathed a long sigh of relief. Cai Dai's strength is thousands of times stronger than Xiao He's. After all, Cai Dai has lived for thousands of years. I took a deep breath and continued to guide the mountain soul into the soul of Bamang. Time passes minute by minute. Hua Xiu has fallen into a passive position, Xiao He and Cai Dai are also struggling. Only Su Tianxian and Zhang Yu have grown up and come and have fun. I was extremely anxious. Su Tianxian forced Zhang Yuchang back with one palm. Then he shouted to Xiao He, "You can start now." After hearing this, Xiao He soared into the sky, then flew into the air and let out a bird song. The next moment, I felt a strong yin energy coming from all directions. I looked around, and it didn't matter what I saw. I was stunned for a moment. Another group of sinister soldiers. However, why do the clothes of these Yin soldiers look so familiar? I remembered, aren't these the Yin soldiers of Jingmen City God? These evil soldiers appear out of thin air. I had agreed with young Master Gui before that we would divide our forces into two groups. I would come to Buman Mountain, and he would mobilize the Yin soldiers to come here to help me. However, since I entered Bamang Mountain, I haven't received any news from Master Gui at all. But now, the Yin soldiers of Jingmen City God suddenly appeared, which surprised me very much. "Lu Su." A familiar voice suddenly sounded in my ears. I looked for the sound and saw Miao Fengluan running towards me, with Master Gui beside her. When I saw the two of them, it dawned on me. Su Tianxian said she was free to make arrangements. It turned out to be this arrangement. When I went to rescue Xiang Yi, Su Tianxian met Miao Fengluan and others. Moreover, Master Gui was also present. After that, Miao Fengluan used Chinayan to hide these Jingmen Yin soldiers. Then wait for Zhang Yuchang's shady soldiers to surround us, and then defeat the defense line from the outside. Su Tianxuan's move is really wonderful. However, what makes me confused is, when did Miao Fengluan's Chinayan become so powerful? How could he hide such a large number of Yin soldiers? Seeing that the situation on the field was under control, I also breathed a sigh of relief. The mountain soul will return to Bamang Mountain soon. By then, it will be John Yuchang's death.